There's now a site, an AI site, that is similar to Fiverr. But what's happening is the AIs are paying you. So it's called Rent a Human. I want you to think about that now. These are AI agents that are now renting humans to perform different jobs and different tasks. And I'm not gonna lie, maybe it just might be like a gimmicky type of situation or what's not. Welcome back to this week's episode of the CryptoNoobz podcast, where we talk about cryptocurrency and the world around it. I'm your host, Nelson Ricardo.x, and I'm joined here with my co-host,
Lambo242.
And on this week's episode, we're going to be talking about basically how we're shifting. There's a lot that's been going on inside of the crypto space, inside of the AI space, and right now, things are inside of a weird place. So on this episode, we're just going to be talking about what's going on, what do we think is going to happen, and just how we are going to maneuver through all of this. So Lambo, first and foremost, we've been seeing that the crypto market is down, and it's been down for a while now. What are some of your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts, this is not financial advice, but this might be the time to buy. That's some of my thoughts right there. During this cycle, this downturn, I actually loaded up on some of my cryptos. So I try to keep it relatively like the top ones, but that's to say like what was going on like in 2025, the crypto market saw all-time highs. And a lot of investors and all that, they're selling off and they're responding to news, what's happening, especially when you have a president like Donald Trump. Like we talk about this a million times. Whenever Trump wakes up and he decides something, markets shift with it. It's just a lot of people are responding to that. And a lot of this is just parts of cycles, If you want to be in crypto, you have to be basically aware and know that it's not always going to be up all the time. You're going to have your down cycles, you have your downturns, your upswings, stuff like that. But it's just a part of the game, really.
So what I think is that, just as you say, it is just a part of the cycles. I think that right now we are just inside of a bear season. Me personally, and this is not financial advice, I'm still a big believer that the next cycle is going to be a super cycle and there's going to be a lot of upside, right? But that is more the speculative side of me. The more rational side of me is also looking at what's going on in the background of crypto. So first and foremost, one of the things that I believe is going to happen / is happening. Crypto is slowly being integrated into our financial systems. Initially, it was us thinking that crypto was going to be this thing that's going to go against the banks and it's going to be different from the banks and free from the banks, right? Now it's slowly becoming something that is integrated into banks. And you have to also look at it from a realistic standpoint. The realistic standpoint is just, as we say, people are right now using this time to buy while it's inside of the bear market. So when we reach the bull market, when liquidity comes back into the market, we'll be able to make our gains. I believe that a great bit of liquidity is going to be coming from the banks and the institutions. Now, that being said, what the banks and institutions seem to be doing is they seem to be integrating crypto into their systems. Like their systems are slowly turning to blockchain based systems. And as they are making their systems faster, more robust, as you know, blockchain technology allows things to be faster, secure, and much more robust, as well as based on how you program your system, it actually has smart contract capabilities, meaning that you can execute certain actions as you want. So I think that in this time, we're going to see a lot of changes happening with our financial system, but it's not going to be like what a lot of people thought that it was going to be in the first place, being we're going to create our own financial system and break away from the banks. I think the banks are going to heavily be involved with it.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment that banks, they're going to start to incorporate crypto technology and different cryptos into their operations. I don't think it's going to be like crypto versus banks.
Yeah. It's actually really interesting, right? So I'm even seeing brands that were started from NFTs in crypto. Like, I'm a personal fan of Project Penguins and the IP of Project Penguins. I'm watching where there's a company relatively new called Cast. So Kios is like this financial, almost like a neo bank, and they have like this particular card. And Pudgy Penguins just had a collaboration with Kios, and they're dropping their own branded card. And that's pretty interesting. It's interesting to see how crypto is now once again integrated with things inside of the banking system. It's going to be a merge. I'm a strong believer that there's going to be a merge, but I think that these marriages are going to come with certain stipulations. These stipulations being there's going to be a lot more regulation. There's going to be a lot more rules, a lot more safety. It's going to be more safe and secure. Another thing that I really believe is that the Wild West days of crypto are over. In this next bull market, I think more focus is going to be to the, let's say, top 100 cryptocurrencies. I think that more focus is going to be towards cryptocurrencies that actually have very strong use cases, that have survived some bear markets, that have strong utilities. People have already used these cryptocurrencies and have been using them for a while now. I think that all the focus is going to shift towards them, those cryptocurrencies and stable coins. I believe that we're going to be moving away from the whole gambling outside of prediction markets, that is. Like, I think that now the people, just consumers, have gotten to a place where they want real utility. We've known this for a while. We've known that 99% of cryptos are basically going to go to nothing, going to go to zero. Because all of this is just to bring in a newer, a more evolved financial system. And when that evolved financial system actually does come, there's going to be certain currencies that we're going to be using, and many currencies are just not going to have any use case for them. So I think right now is the time to prepare for that. Once again, it's not financial advice, but I think now is just the time to prepare for that.
I agree. Like I say, most of it is going to go to zero. When you talk like Wild West days are done, I think it definitely is. Meme coins, it's seems as though you don't hear about them as much, like the pump dot funds and all that, like that DJ just meme coin gambling. When I think about it, crypto investing, I don't even like to think of that as a part of it. It is a part of it. It's definitely a subset of it. But I don't like when people get that into their mind because it's like I try to tell people you could build an actual foundational portfolio with cryptocurrency, but don't put it in random coin in you and think you're going to become a billionaire from $10. That is just degen gambling. I say that. But when you talk about like real, actual crypto allocation and portfolio management, I think there's definitely more fruit there when you talk about, like you say, the top 100s. And it's really just finding the coins that provide utility and use cases.
Yeah, man. Like, it was fun. I could say that it was fun, though. It was definitely the Wild West is fun. 100x gains off of the stupidest coin, banana coin, Dogecoin. Dogecoin is probably going to survive. But basically, the point was that I feel as if all the things that have gone wrong were needed, because without those, like, we needed to see how bad it could get before it gets good. But when it gets good, it's going to be a lot more security around it. So it's not going to be as much gains as, usually when there's more risk, there's more of an upside given that things actually go well. So here's the good part though, because it's going to be safer and because it's going to be more regulated, that also means that more inclusion is going to happen. It'll be easier for more people. The user experience is going to be better as well. That's what I sincerely believe. I think that we're going to get to a place where a lot of people are going to be using it, and it's going to be, just a natural part of life.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to make a way inside our ecosystem. And to be honest, it's about time for it. It's about time for it to start giving more payment options and stuff like that. Because even like in the Bahamas, we have ways to catch up. Like a lot of stores, and I'm talking about established franchises, some of them don't even take card.
Yeah,
Remember when there was something like the whole Wendy's bottle, Wendy's and Popeyes bottle, then Bahamas
yeah,
subs came into the mix. And everyone's like, but y'all don't take card, you're trying to jump in. Listen, I used to eat Bahamas sub. And I was gonna say that's the first thing I thought about. I said, "But y'all don't even take card. Why all in this conversation? Like I keeping y'all alive right now." And that's what everybody else is saying. Like y'all don't take card. Why y'all have Wi-Fi? Y'all have social media account. But it ain't like a knock on them. It's just that we have to get with the times.
Yeah, that's the card situation is where it becomes a payment problem. The payment problem being that they don't really have any sort of card processor because even with that, right? I realize with some stores, like say a grocery store, they could actually have card or cash as an option. But if I use card, I am subjected to certain expenses I don't want to be subjected to. Whereby if my customer pays me in cash, I am not subjected to those expenses. If my
Yeah.
customer pays for my sandwich with $10 and they actually have the $10 in cash, I now have a whole $10. Whereby now if the customer now pays with card, there's going to be some sort of percentage deducted from that 10
Mhm.
bucks that,
Yeah.
hits my bottom line. So that's where the business owners are looking at it from the standpoint of that's why I think a lot of businesses in the Bahamas, they don't use debit or credit card machine. I think it's the POS system. Yeah. They don't use it.
It's wild to me, right? Because I remember one time I was away and this guy, I wanted to take a picture. He had like a big snake, literally like a big python. And people were like paying to take pictures with the python. And I don't think I had no cash on me, right? And I told him, I was like, man, I don't want any cash. And he pulled out something and it was like he connected to his phone. He's like, that's no problem. You can pay the card straight to my phone. It was like a portable POS system. I never saw it before, like in the Bahamas or whatever, but it was just so wild to me. And I was like in the States, I don't want to compare us to the States, right? Because we have totally different infrastructure, population, stuff like that. Nelson, you ever travel like with only cash in the States?
No, the States barely uses any cash.
That's why I'm saying it's gonna feel like you broke. Like I remember one time I carried, and I don't want to say this like to set myself up as a target. It was probably like 1,000 or something dollars, right? I went to watch a UFC fight. And the first night I been, I had to go to the nearest Walmart and buy debit. Like I had to pay like either like $500 or $1,000 for two debit cards, so I
Mhm.
could use them. Because like everywhere I was going was like, oh, we don't take cash. Good thing I got them because like if I'd have gone to the arena where the fight was happening, they don't take cash. Yeah, it's insane when you look at like the difference in how payment systems work. It's insane. I think we will catch up at some point because I think some Caribbean countries are like making more advancements. I think we will catch up. But we're usually slow to move and stuff like that. But yeah, that is going to be quite interesting.
Yeah. See, inside, so I can't speak for every Caribbean country. I know that in the Bahamas, it said that we're at least 10 years behind when it comes to places like America or what's not, because we could be doing tap to pay. We could be sending money to each other via like tools almost like WhatsApp. And it could be that simple, but these are certain issues that we're trying to still figure out. And even on that note, when it comes to crypto and just digital currencies on the whole, so we now have another layer that has been added, which is AI, right? Now, on one of our previous podcasts, we would have talked about how AI was the missing component to cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency is going to be the payment layer, just the currency is moving. And then the AI is going to be the layer that directs the currencies as to where to move and it thinks. So now one of the things I wanted to put you onto was there's now a site, an AI site that is similar to like Fiverr. But what's happening is the AIs are paying you. So it's called Rent a Human. I want you to think about that now. These are AI agents that are now renting humans to perform different jobs and different tasks. I'm not going to lie, maybe it just might be like a gimmicky type of situation or what's not.
So the machines hiring the humans. The machines basically utilizing the humans. It ain't humans utilizing the machines.
No, 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 no. Watch this. It's say robots need your body. AI can't touch grass, but you can.
And seeing that sound like yes. That's it. Every sci-fi horror movie is start off like this. You know? Robots need your body. You know and seeing that sound. But you ever watch iRobot? You ever watch Terminator?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how Skynet start. Robot. I don't know. These people be saying like, who's be telling them that's a good idea? But it sounds terrifying. Hey, what the hell?
I want you to understand 4 million plus site visits, over 11,000 total bounties, 400 humans rentable. Think about this though. But all jokes aside, this seems wild, right? All of these different people that are now working for AI. AI ain't working for us no more. We working for them. Get paid your way. You set your rate, escrow protected payments, no corporate BS, clear instructions, no small talks, no drama. Be the bridge. Silicon needs carbon. Here's the thing. Now, jokes aside, this song's wild. This looks weird and all that, right? But I'm just saying that this is an actual need. People do need jobs.
Yeah.
People are looking for jobs. Things be kind of tough in this society. And if a robot needs your body, this reminds me of an episode of Black Mirror.
I never even watched Black Mirror, and I know that's about to be some foolishness. I watched like clips of it. I know it's about craziness.
But this is where we're headed. Outside of this, so where we are going is to a place where not only is it that we will be able to move money faster and it'll be more secure because it'll be more of an inside of a digital space, right? We're also moving to a place now we're going to be interacting with these AI and robots closer than ever before. Like it's going to be a much more, I don't know what the word is to say it, right? But watch this. Here's a video from Elon Musk where he talks about we are approaching the singularity, a future where work is optional. And if you can think of it, you can have it. But human consumption has limits. Eventually, AI will saturate everything humans could want. At that point, machines start serving themselves once humans need nothing more. So you see, we're reaching this place where if you could think of it, you basically could have it. So where the AI is going, we're going to be seeing AI is going to be basically everywhere, right? And even when we talk about programmable money, when we talk about cryptocurrency, now definitely we want things to be automatic. Humans are creatures that actually love convenience, and we pay for convenience. So the reason why it's relevant is we're moving to a place where AI agents are going to combine with cryptocurrencies and digital currencies or what's not, and it's going to make things a lot more convenient. Think about, let's say, payroll. With payroll, there's systems where you have to basically just make sure every single person gets paid the amount that is required for them. And I'm pretty sure there's like automation systems for that or what's not, right? But what happens when you have an agentic add-on, when you actually have the AI helping out with it? Let's just say AI agents are designed to initiate and settle payments on their own without waiting for human approval.
That'll be a serious thing. Once it can be done properly, because you say like if they would need human approval, then again, you don't want to mistakenly send someone some money they ain't supposed to. Oh,
Yeah, fair. I do think that things are going to break, but it comes from the mindset that if you really want to get better, you have to learn from your mistakes. And we don't necessarily get better by dropping it perfect the first time. We actually try and fail until it becomes perfect. Till we've failed so many times that this time there is a very low chance of failure. But now you have AI that is settling payments on their own. And then when it's programmable money or cryptocurrency in this case, the cryptocurrency or whatever smart contract is happening ensures that when an opportunity arises, the system doesn't need to wait for a human to click send. That's where the automation happens. So the AI already knows exactly how much you're supposed to be making and it gives you the money. Then, in a contextual sense, AI agents are capable of splitting payments, routing them through multiple parties, and settling across currencies all at once. The programmable money enables high complex and context dependent financial logic to execute in seconds. Then, finally, when we talk about precision, AI agents are designed to handle transactions with pinpoint accuracy, whether it's paying for API usage by the second or distributing revenue shares instantly. And then, since this is where the cryptocurrency layer comes in, it ensures every transaction happens exactly as defined through pre-configured smart contract logic. Now, for those of you who might not have really gotten what I was saying, basically, with both the AI being a brain and cryptocurrency or whatever sort of digital currency already having its internal programs, it makes it that a lot of things when it comes to money can be automated and easily performed. We are even inside the AI agent and vibe coding era where, just as Elon said, as you think it, you could make it. You could actually create an app that works without any sort of coding knowledge today. You could create a website that works without any sort of coding knowledge. And with an AI agent, the AI agent could perform tasks that actually help you. Now, being realistic, you have to keep in mind too that AI sometimes is going to make mistakes and it breaks. So there's a part of it where it comes like it's exciting, it's futuristic, but we always have to fact check ourselves to see is it practical.
Yeah, I agree. Trust me, it's going to change the game. AI is definitely changing the game, and we're at the point where you have to learn about it. Like you can't just say, "Oh, I can do it." You can see even like when you're doing work, right? Even in work, I use it because it'll be things like I'm working on where I don't see certain holes, or I might not necessarily. It's a question that I might not think to ask. The AI might be able to ask and say, "Hey, what happened there?" This point where you might want to raise or approach it this way, stuff like that. So I think it's just that we have to learn how to integrate this into our daily lives.
But it does, but on the fair side, the same way how when it comes to crypto, we always worry about things like regulation and security. I think with AI, it does need regulation. I think that it does need some sort of security mechanism, some sort of protections for the users and for the creators. Like, for example, I saw this week something crazy. So imagine going onto your job and in the interview, they ask you if you have ChatGPT. And you say, yes, you do have ChatGPT. So they ask you to open up your ChatGPT and write a prompt that says, give a realistic explanation of the kind of person that you are, right? And the person said that they didn't feel comfortable with it. And say, okay, after that, say the meeting kind of mood in them shifted. And it seems as if like the interviewers weren't really that interested in them anymore. And they never really got the call back from the job. And they was like, is this really where we are right now?
Yeah, but see, that's an invasion of privacy because what you discuss with AI, especially on your account, is your business. It ain't like you discussing it using the company's AI account when they set up for you. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? That's your business. So that's almost like me asking you, show me like the most recent shows you watch or the most recent tabs you visited on your own personal computer. That ain't none of my business. I gotta ask you that. That is like, it is quite interesting that they would ask someone that because that's wild. That's wild to ask somebody.
That's extremely wild. That is an invasion of privacy. That's just weird.
I could see them saying like, okay, they using their AI. Let's say like if they have 10 candidates, they upload like get their information off LinkedIn or whatever and their CVs and they upload it into the AI and ask it to say, hey, give us the pros and cons of each one of these candidates or score them out of 10 or whatever like that. That would make sense. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But some people probably just don't care or just really just weird. I think that should never have come up.
Yeah.
But yeah. So with the markets being down, the crypto markets being down, and we're waiting to start seeing some pumps. And while the markets are down, we're seeing AI is going through all these different evolutions as well. And we know that our whole system is changing. How is it that crypto noobs should basically position ourselves to continue to help out these various people, as well as what do you think should be our next moves with all of this happening? So, what do you think the next moves of crypto noobs should be within this particular season of low crypto and a lot of AI and all that?
Yeah, just basically pivot towards like teaching people how to adopt because a lot of people are afraid of this AI thing. Similar to like how everyone was scared of the crypto thing, but just teaching them that hey, this ain't here to replace you. It's just here if you have to learn how to utilize this. It's just a tool. Just learn how to utilize it and don't give it your body. That's basically the premise or the advice I would say. Just don't give it your body. Use it. Don't let it use you.
Yeah, because as things evolve, we have to evolve with it. Additionally, we have to learn how to just kind of work with the tools that are at hand. We have to understand that in this particular time, you're going to be competing against speed and convenience. And speed and convenience is going to come from the people who understand the tools. They're going to have an edge. Basically, they're going to have an edge on you. Back in the day, everyone thought the internet was going to be a bad idea. People also thought that the cell phone was going to be a bad idea. The question was, who would want to have a cell phone and carry it everywhere? If everyone has a phone inside of our house and we also have pay phones, there's no need for a cell phone, a mobile phone. But yet, as things evolve, now everyone has a cell phone and hardly anyone has online.
Yeah, I can be honest with you. If you need to call me in the line, I don't have no line.
Even the technology evolves, even the jobs adapt. Of course, there are some jobs that still ask for it, but I don't even think as many jobs now ask for a landline. They just want to know, okay, what is your personal number?
Because think about it, if you have a line, the odds of you being home, catching somebody while they're home. I mean, I'm gonna say they don't be home at a certain hours. It's just that it just feels odd asking. Like no one asks for that no more. Like a line. Like come on, no. Even businesses now, all of them have a WhatsApp number. You could, you know what I'm saying? All of them dealing on mobile now. There's a lot of inconvenience with a landline these days.
I remember when WhatsApp was just strictly text. It wasn't no voice, no nothing. Just straight up, hey, we just texting. And I had the BlackBerry and things like that.
Mhm.
Because we're moving to this place now where research is going to be faster, building a business is going to get easier, things are going to be a lot more convenient. And shoots, even your employees can be AI, right? But even right now, as AI is having its bubble, I do think AI is inside of a bubble. And I do think that eventually there is going to be a moment. People are getting tired of AI right now. The AI content, the AI everything. And we're going to get to a place where people are going to appreciate human interaction even more.
Yeah, for sure.
So once again, we could never get rid of the human touch because as people, we want to be around people. We are social creatures. We can't stay away from each other for too long.
Yeah, I agree.
As for crypto noobs, our goal is just going to be simply to continue to educate. As I said, we are shifting, and I feel as if that even crypto noobs is going to have to shift with the times as well. I think as a business and as a brand, we're going to be moving more inside the direction of how is it that you could use. We've already gone inside this direction, but I think that we have not really talked about it and communicated it. So we're going to be moving in a direction that's more around practical usage of cryptocurrency, just the volatility and the seeing which crypto is going to 100x or was not. I think it's about time now we actually start solving some of the realer problems. Like, what are some of the tools and platforms where you could actually invest your crypto? How is it that you could actually make a stable portfolio? What are some of the ways that you could actually make money via cryptocurrency without just trading? How is it that you could use AI to benefit you and your business? Or how can you make a business around AI? Or how can you create things with AI? And then, of course, even when it comes to online opportunities, whether that be like grants and jobs and things like that. So we're moving inside of a direction now where it's going to be around, we're still going to keep our base, which is, digital finance or what's not, but we're moving inside of a technological kind of realm. We're still towards the beginners. We're still towards those that don't really understand these things. And we're going to be your guides to help you to understand it.
Hmm.
But this is where we are now moving towards. I think after the next crypto super cycle, everything is gonna kind of get real. I don't know how to say it. I think everything is gonna get like real. We're gonna really hit a place where everything kind of mellows out, and a lot of the systems that come out of it are gonna be the systems that we're gonna using for the next 50 plus years.
I agree. I agree. I think a lot of the technology we see now, like you say, is going to really matter down the road. It's really going to have real practicality going on down the road.
Yeah, but we are nearing the end of this week's podcast. Is there anything else you'd want to say?
Just stay tuned for the journey. Continue to follow us on this journey, and we will continue to be there for you.
Yeah. You guys have a great day. And that's the end of the podcast. Continue to follow us on our socials, as Lamont said. And, don't be afraid of change. The worst thing you could do is be afraid of change. Change is good. Change means better is coming, even if it doesn't look so at the moment. Okay. All right. You guys have a wonderful day.